Good evening. I hope everyone's well. I wanted to go live this evening and talk a little bit about a few things. First of all, I want to say Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's an important day to recognise, I think, with all the sadness and drama going on at the moment in the world, that we're sometimes forgetting to have these moments of fun. So Happy St. Patrick's Day. I tried today to explain to my son a little bit about the coronavirus and what it was all about. And his reaction made me think that it's a reaction I wish I had too. He kind of was enjoying his day. He didn't really care about the coronavirus and what was happening. And there's a part of me that wishes I could be like him. I think it's a pretty crazy time, and I think sometimes the coronavirus headline and news is freaking us all out. I mean, I played the news this morning, and what comes on? 250,000 people in the UK are likely to die. I mean, it's just scary. And then you start hearing about all the fallout. You know, Boris Johnson makes an announcement that there's going to be, he suggests that people close their businesses, but doesn't say close your businesses, which means ultimately no one gets the insurance and the support they need if their businesses suffer. So I feel like there's a lot of headlines out there and a lot of scariness, and I don't think there's much in the way of practical things that we can do to help people that are suffering through this time. So I want to do that. For those that don't know me, I am a successful entrepreneur. I've started 17 companies in my career. I've invested in many, many more. And actually, I have been through something very similar to coronavirus in my past. In 2003, I was living in Hong Kong. I had an agency business called Fluid, and the virus hit Hong Kong. And a lot of what's playing out in the US and in the UK right now with this fear of what will happen and what should we do already happened to me in Hong Kong. I had quite a sizable business there, and suddenly overnight the clients stopped. They completely stopped using the service. A lot of people had a cash flow problem, so couldn't pay us the money they did owe us, and we had a lot of overheads and costs. It was very, very scary. And what I learned through that period was you kind of go through these stages where you basically feel that it's all out of your control, that there's nothing you can do to fix the situation. And I think I'm talking today ideally to entrepreneurs and founders, people with small businesses out there. You're probably feeling very vulnerable right now, and like things are out of your control. What will the government do to support? What will the government say? How will customers react? How long will this process play out? You've got your own personal well-being, the well-being of your family, the well-being of the business. It's all playing a role in what's happening. And so I think today I want to basically tell you that through my experience of being in Hong Kong during SARS, and I see so many similarities right now with the coronavirus here in the UK and in the US, that actually you are in control. It might feel like you're not in control, but you are in control. And I think that's the first step. So I've actually written it down. I want people to feel like you're in control. Take control of the situation. It's not all out of your control. There are, of course, elements that are out of your control, but I want you to feel like you're in control. That is the first step, I think, to the process of feeling empowered and not depressed around coronavirus. My feeling is, after that, there is a second step, which is what I'm going to call taking control and leveraging fear. Now, part of this message for me is I want you to know you're not alone. There's plenty of people in the entrepreneurial community that have been through hard times, are going through hard times right now, and you're not alone in the fear consuming you and the panic setting in. But you are in control of your own emotions. And I think if you can take control and leverage fear, there are some things you can do in this time that might change the narrative from it's an awful moment to it's a time to reflect, or it's an awful moment to it's a time to assess what you actually want out of your life, out of business. And so I'm talking primarily this evening about things in a business context. I want people to feel like there are options for them and to start focusing on the positive, the opportunities ahead of you as opposed to the concerns. So I've actually written out, I don't know if you can see, maybe I'll just zoom out a little bit. I've written out some steps or things for you guys to think about that might help you reframe the narrative around the coronavirus. So I've basically written 4 ideas for you to think about. That if you're a small business, or let's say a sole trader, or an entrepreneur trying to figure out what to do while you're working at home and you can't perhaps operate your business, maybe this is a chance for you to work on certain things. So at the top here, I've written planning ahead. Now I want to tell you my personal experience with SARS. It seemed like we were in the middle of a very dark tunnel and it was never going to end. There will be an end to this. This virus will get sorted. One way or another, it will get sorted. My experience with SARS was it was about 4 months. And so my guess is it's going to be similar. And with a lockdown in place and some lessons learned, it could be shorter, it could be longer, but I think there's going to be a 3 or 4 month dip. And I'm going to say to you right now that might be a chance for you to restructure your business and rethink how you do things. So the first thing I think you can think about is planning ahead. This virus will end, so you've got to think about at the end of the tunnel, when you come out the other end, what do you want to be? I think you can think carefully about your purpose as a business. You can start getting into more detailed marketing once we're through this virus, what you can be doing, what you'd like to be doing. I think there's a short-term need and a long-term need. Of course, short-term, you need to think about how to make money. I totally understand that's going to be a big problem. I remember with my own business, Fluid, we had massive payroll, massive office costs and infrastructure costs. We have to meet those costs. So those are going to be the short-term things to work on. But there are some long-term things to think about. Especially if you're a sole trader, there's a chance for you to reflect and think a little bit about how you actually want to build out your business in the future. I also think this is an opportunity to learn new skills. Myself, this is actually my first full live stream on all channels. So I'm learning myself right now how to leverage the online side of things. And it's actually really interesting. And not only is it really interesting, it takes my mind off the coronavirus stress. By learning something new, not only can you tool yourself up for the future to give yourself the things that you need to actually achieve the purpose you want in life, at the same time, it is frankly just a great distraction. So that's why I'm doing live stream on all channels for the first time. It's also something I think you guys can think about. I think there's an opportunity for a lot of individual businesses that perhaps right now operate out of premises and now can't, because you can't have any direct contact with folks, to think about e-commerce or even how maybe your website and other communication channels can be leveraged better. I saw a great post today from a yoga instructor who is now offering online yoga for free. And within the post she said, it's going to be free online to anyone in the world, and if you want to make a contribution, you can. I think that is absolutely brilliant. What you're basically doing there is you're connecting to the whole world. Instead of, if you're a yoga teacher today, maybe you're actually restricted by the environment that you have been working out of for the last year. And now you're not restricted by that. There's an opportunity in this. You can broadcast your yoga class to the whole world. And so I think that if you leverage ideas like that, you can start to think about how your business today, which might have been restricted to, if you're a yoga instructor at one room, now the whole world is your opportunity. And I think if you do what I'm doing, which is learn about how to live stream, for example, then you might be able to live stream your yoga lessons to millions of people around the world and create a whole new audience. So I also think people should start learning about virtual reality. You should get a little bit into AI, understand how that all works. Again, I feel like it's going to be a really useful tool in anyone's business going forward. But I bet a lot of people right now, you've been working so hard on your your business, that you've not had time to reflect and look at these new opportunities, these new technologies. Even myself, I actually had a digital agency before, but in just 2 years since that digital agency, I now see all the different opportunities online. It's so different. It's so much more complicated. Even YouTube, which I'm on right now, I'm on TikTok right now, I'm on Instagram right now, I'm on Periscope right now. These are all really new live stream communication channels, and so it's both exciting, but you need time to learn these things. So maybe this time now where you're at home, maybe you have a chance to learn. The last 2 points that I want you guys to think about, and I'm going to set up a course to go into these in more depth, is you can perhaps reconnect and reassess partnerships. So I know myself, I actually decided to retire a few years ago. I'm now working again, but I decided to retire a few years ago. And I spent quite a bit of time, instead of working all the time like I was before, I spent quite a bit of time on my health, which I think is something everyone meeting up, because I know that's hard for people right now, but making an effort, scheduling calls to actually connect with people. So that's one thing to think about. Re-establishing your networks. I'm not sure if you guys can see this list here, but re-establishing your networks, connections with people. I have spent quite a little bit of time recently on LinkedIn, just reigniting some of my relationships within the business community. I think when we're really busy in business, doing the day-to-day, then we don't really have a chance to do that. And I think right now, maybe it's an opportunity for you guys to do that. And then finally, I've been blown away by the amount of amazing free stuff out there that you guys can all leverage. So content that I'm putting up, for example, that's all free. I'm not making any money from any of my content. I just want to give knowledge and insight and help to folks out there that are struggling. That's it. There's a lot of people like me out there right now doing that. There's a lot of good people that are just trying to give knowledge and just trying to help. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to do a quick broadcast, practice my own personal live streaming, as well as perhaps try to give some value and share some knowledge. I say it again, I've been through something very similar to coronavirus in Hong Kong in 2003. We had the SARS virus. It was devastating to Hong Kong. It was devastating to my business at that time in Hong Kong. I saw it play out, and the lessons I learned were you've got to fight back. And actually, there's an opportunity for you to reinvent your business, reinvent your life at this moment in time. But you've got to leverage the tools that you've got to fight, you've got to push yourself to the next level. So maybe follow these 4 ideas. Plan ahead, learn new skills, reconnect and create new partnerships, and use and leverage all the free stuff out there to build up your business. Now, I believe that we will pass through the coronavirus in the next 3 to 4 months. We will come out the other side. So maybe this is a chance for you to plan for the next 3 to 4 months. What do you want to be? What do you want your business to be? I've just seen quite a few people just join, so I just want to say one of the examples I really enjoyed today. I saw a yoga instructor post online that she's going to live stream her yoga classes in the future. And then suddenly the whole world has become her potential partner or client. And she's no longer restricted by the room she used to do those yoga classes in. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. I think there's a chance for innovation to play a huge role in the evolution of your business. And maybe this, let's call it slightly quieter moment, if it really is that. For some people it's not, but for some of you it might be. Then maybe there's a chance for you to rethink what you want your business to be, whether you want it to be a small local business or a global business, what you personally want out of the business. For me, I'm working again because I have purpose. My purpose is to make sure that no entrepreneur feels alone. I want to be here to help, give advice. So if you guys have any questions or you have any issues, leave me a comment, give me a like, send me a DM. I'll do my very best to answer any questions that you might have and help businesses and business owners in this difficult time. So I just will conclude by saying, remember, you are in control. That is the first step. This is not something happening to you. You can ensure that you get what you need going forward. And I know that short term it's going to be incredibly tough. I know financially it's causing a lot of people pain. But long term, there is an opportunity for you to reinvent your business, reinvent your life, and model it to what will be, frankly, a whole new world. I think this is the final stage in online, where everyone will have to move online in one shape or another, and we have to start thinking about businesses not within the context of four walls, but as an open-ended environment. And actually, in that respect, it's exciting. It's an exciting time. There's a whole new world out there that you guys can learn. And so I'd like to help you learn those things. I will break these 4 parts of what I've suggested tonight into a program, which I will give for free. I will try to share knowledge that I personally had going through SARS virus in Hong Kong. I will try to share my own experience having built 17 companies. Every single one of those companies had near-death experiences. Every single one of those companies had bad, and how I fought back. I built a podcast platform called the Good Luck Club. That is great entrepreneurs that come onto that podcast that share their story. And again, it's not all glory, of course. It's in the hard moments you're going to find your strength. You might even find your true voice in these hard moments. What I've seen with a lot of businesses when they're going well, no one really thinks carefully about the purpose or why you're doing what you do. But when hard moments come, it makes you look, God, this horrible, horrible situation we all find ourselves in is in fact a chance to reinvent yourself. And that's it. You're in control. You're not alone. That's what I wanted to say. So I hope you found it useful, and I look forward to helping. Now, I've spoken a lot, and I can see a lot of questions coming through on the feed. So let me see if I can answer some of these questions. Oh, hi, H King. Yep, I do mentoring. I absolutely do not charge for it. I enjoy mentoring. I actually recommend anyone listening today to do a bit of mentoring if you can. Mentoring is incredibly rewarding. It's one of those things where you can give back. I enjoy the mentoring approach. It's one of those things basically where people tell you their problems and you try to help. But equally at the same time, I've always learned something when I mentor people. I'm learning about technology from tech entrepreneurs at the moment, for example. So I do mentor people. I'm tending to do it online at the moment, just to accommodate the present coronavirus concerns. But yes, I do mentor. And H King, let me know how I can help you. Oh, love how we feel. Thank you so much for coming on. I really enjoyed your post the other day, and I really love what you're doing. So thanks very much for joining, and I appreciate you saying you think my advice is great. I'm going to go deeper. I'm just surface covering some points I think they're important today. I will go deeper in future posts. I'm also making some content with some pretty cool people like Connor Wells, if you're out there. He's helping me produce some pretty amazing content that's going to hopefully be useful to people. And so, I started a platform called Young Innovators, inspired by me. Wow, that's so nice of you to say, H King. I'll check that out. So it's called Young Innovators. Wow, if I'm inspiring you to create a platform, then that makes my day, frankly. Thank you so much for saying that. I love how we feel. The Mentor Winner promotion, Joanna from Dye will be announcing that, I think tomorrow. I think everyone who's submitted will be answered tomorrow on that. So yeah, we'll let you know tomorrow on that. Oh, James, thanks so much for saying you like my TikTok videos. That's kind of you. I'm still learning how to use TikTok. I've now done 300 videos on TikTok, and I still don't think I understand it, but I do enjoy jumping on. It's a little bit soundbitey, is that the right way to put it for me? So I'm trying to get a bit more detailed, meaningful content on TikTok, but I'm enjoying it. But I'm glad you're enjoying it, James. So thanks for saying that. Yes, love how we feel. I did see your email in regards to your why. I absolutely love it. I really think you're doing something special. So thanks very much for what you're doing. Oh, Young Innovation UK is a platform to help young entrepreneurs start their own businesses. I think that's absolutely brilliant, King. Absolutely brilliant. Have you got advice for a 16-year-old wanting to make it? Okay, basically I left school at 15 and started a company, and I get into trouble for saying this, but for me it was absolutely the right thing to do. I didn't enjoy school. But I think the important thing is that you don't start a business just to make money. The key, I think, to starting a business is doing something that you're really passionate about. Do not focus on the money. I know that sounds, cheesy, and I think maybe people say you have to go through the process of make money to realize that money is not important, but money only makes you happy if you're already happy. So don't chase money, chase the purpose of the business, and chase the meaning of the business, especially the meaning to you of that business. I think that's what creates a day-to-day that you enjoy, and then ironically it means you'll be willing to outwork anyone else because you're just enjoying what you're doing, and so it will never be about money. Hi Hussein. I mean, school is a tough one. I think the school system is a little bit broken. I've talked about this before in previous videos. I think, for example, the memorization system is a little bit out of date. You can remember something for a test a week later, and then for only you never to use that knowledge again, really, because Google can provide it all to you. Kind of sums up the school system problem to me. But I do understand that schools are part of life, but I do feel like maybe there's a way to learn without school now. You've got all these tools, as I just mentioned earlier, in the 4-step process that you can follow to leverage this time maybe you have to reflect on your business. One of them is all the free tools out there to learn. I mean, school is so obsolete. There's just so many ways to learn what you want to learn. YouTube's amazing. You just type in what you want to know and it will teach you it. And so, yeah, it's just so many different ways to learn. Hi, Hisham. How shall I find that purpose? Now, that's a really good question. Finding your purpose is not just one thing as well. So I think for me anyway, finding my purpose has been a journey. And so it can start off with just helping someone. And then through just helping someone, you learn something, and from that maybe you find a purpose. Equally, you can have more than one purpose. So sometimes it can be the people's why, you know, like I've got a friend who started a business recently, and a big part of his why is he wants his son to see him enjoying what he does. So that's his purpose right now. Now that's, to some people that's not a big enough purpose. I mean, of course, you know, solve world hunger or fix the coronavirus. These are big, lofty goals. But you know, sometimes for some people you just need a very basic first step purpose point. And so for me, why am I here now at 8:41 p.m. talking to you guys about how to fight back against coronavirus in business? Because when I was 15 years old, I started a company. I didn't have any help. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a coach. I didn't know the difference between a mentor and a coach. I didn't have any money. I didn't have anyone offering to give me any money. I didn't know how to raise money. I didn't know how to hire people. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't know what questions to ask. So in a way, I'm doing this to try and go back to that 15-year-old person and help them. And so that's a big part of why I'm doing what I'm doing today. But it's taken me a long time to get to a point where I have the knowledge to be able to deliver on what I've just suggested is my purpose. So, my purpose in life is to help other people also find their purpose in life. But it's a process. That's a big part of what I've discovered. It's not, and there's not just one purpose in life either. And your purpose can change over time. So I don't know if that's answered your question, but that's what I think. Okay, guys, I'm going to jump off now. I hope you found this useful. I want to thank you all for joining me. I'm here to help. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. I will reply. I always reply to comments. It's a big thing for me. I can't promise I'll be able to help you all. I'm good at business, so if there's any business questions, I will do my very best to answer them. And let's keep in touch, guys. And thanks for joining today. I'll see you soon. Bye.